Hi, as you know, my name is Pammy. Hello again. So this week on Locs Talk, we're going to have a quick conversation. So first I'm going to open by putting a myth to sleep about locks. It's been said that locks are stiff and hard and heavy and dirty. Inaccurate. Truly taken care of locks are light and soft. So in this talk, I'm going to talk about how to transform your locks, if you have stiff and hard locks, into the kind of locks that you desire to have, that you should have, which are soft and light. So let's get into it and talk about it on this week's Locs Talk. Come on in. I'm coming to you from what's become my favorite place and spot to record in is in my kitchen at my table, which is my workstation when I'm blogging and working on my website and doing other things related to my lock business. So before I get into this talk, I want to remind you that a lot of the things that I do discuss, I write in the blog on my website, www.pammylockswithlove74.com. Go in, sign up and become a member while it's free, because at the end of the year it will not be free anymore. So take advantage while you can and just browse around, look at my services. If you need a consult, feel free to book one. And let's get into this talk. So this week I'm going to talk about how to transfer hard and stiff locks into the locks that you desire to have, that you deserve to have, which are soft and light. And your hair should be soft and light because that's what hair is. It should be soft and light. So let's get further into that. And before I go on, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you hear any background noise, my son is in the room. He's playing his video game. He's getting loud with it. So if you hear like an outburst, that's him. Yeah, because I'm a mom first. So I don't mute my family just to record a video. I'm a real life person, and that's how I like to present myself. Okay? So let's get into this. First and foremost, what in the world causes locks to get stiff and hard and heavy and feel dirty no matter how much you're washing it? And the short answer is buildup. That's it. Buildup. Now, what causes buildup? A number of things can cause buildup. Primarily, the main thing that causes buildup is products. And not just any products. Sometimes, and it's very often that I see it, from watching tutorials to seeing TikTok videos to other things, that a lot of people in the lock community unfortunately are using products that is not intended to be used on locks. And unfortunately, because they're using products that are not meant to use on locks, such as leave-in conditioner creams and shampoos that are not designed for locks, heavy gels like that dark black gel that has alcohol in it, mousse that has alcohol in it, different things like that. I'm not going to use brand names and things like that, but heavy gels, products made for natural hair but not intentionally made for locks, people are using on their locks. And what happens is it burrows down into the locks and it causes them to get heavy and dense and really, and then the second thing, not washing properly. Now, if you was here for my last video that I uploaded, it is a video that touches on how to wash your hair properly. So if you haven't been doing it properly and making sure that you're rinsing all the shampoo residue or conditioner, if you use residue, out of your hair, that's also being left in your hair, and that causes buildup also. And because the residue from that is left in your hair, it's naturally not going to make your hair feel like it should in its natural state. Okay. The third is a lot of people misassociate oil as a way of moisturizing your hair. Oil does not equate to moisture. Think about it. If you're thirsty and you're really thirsty, what's the first thing you're going to grab? A glass of water or a glass of oil? Okay? Now, when people associate oil with lubrication, they assume lubrication equates to moisture, and moisture does not necessarily equate. Lubrication and moisture does not necessarily match 100%. Lubrication can be done with oil and different things, okay, gels or whatever. But moisture typically comes from a water base. So it's very important to understand that over oiling your hair and just like really laying a lot of it on, it's not doing you any justice. So you got to pipe back, relax. You don't have to do so much with oiling your hair. You actually don't have to oil your hair that often because your scalp naturally makes oil. So chill out with the oil, okay? Let's move on. Okay, so now that we know what causes buildup, I bet you're wondering, well, how the hell do I get rid of it? Now, some cases, getting rid of buildup is quite easy because it's not that much of it. But if you have years and years and years of buildup, then you are going to have to do a immense, like really tense detox. And I don't mean tense as in putting a bunch of damaging acid-filled products in the basin and soaking your hair in it, and now your hair comes out feeling like sandpaper because you've taken not only the buildup out of your hair, but even washed away your natural essence of oils and things that helps keep your hair soft, right? So the detox that I particularly like to use currently is a vegan detox lock bar from Peculiar Roots. Vegan Locs detox bar is the proper term that's used for this. It is like that of a bath bomb that you would use. I have a inflatable basin that I would fill with really warm, closer to hot water. And then I would, usually what I do, I break this in half and I put it in there before I add the water. And as I'm pouring the water, it helps it to dissolve faster because it does take a minute to dissolve because it's pretty big. It's literally the size of the box. Okay. And when you drop it in there, it has all of the right measurement of ingredients in it to help detox and pull out the hair. I'm going to put up a before picture of someone's hair that I detoxed just a few days ago and see how much massive buildup was in that person's hair and how much this bar took out of that person's hair. Okay. So a detox is absolutely necessary as the first step to get rid of buildup. Now, it doesn't stop after the detox. After you've done the detox, again, to reiterate what was done in the proper wash video, you can go back to view it yourself because I'm not going to go through the steps to prolong this video. After you've detoxed your hair, then you're going to do a proper wash. Now, when I do a proper wash, I also include using my ACV Peculiar Roots shampoo and my detox shampoo. And yes, you can mix and match the shampoos, which I love the most about it. So those were the other two things that I use. On the first wash, I used the ACV shampoo, which lathered up rather quickly because I got most of the gunk out when I did this detox. So I did that to get the rest of the product out of the hair. And then I did the detox shampoo as the second cycle to pull any excess out of the lock, because the black charcoal detox shampoo by Peculiar Roots is designed to literally go down in the lock and just pull all of that extra stuff out of it, which is why Peculiar Roots is the brand for me. Now, I recommend it. It's up to you. Go check it out. Okay. And you can look down in my comments for my discount code would give you a discount if you decide that you want to shop. Okay, but it's at peculiarroots.com. So that's what you do to get rid of the buildup: a detox and a proper wash. And make sure you thoroughly rinse your hair out when you wash your hair, okay? Yeah. Now, here is the kicker. How do we not get that happening again? First and foremost, make sure you find a product that is designed specifically and made for your locks. The current brand that I am using, again, is Peculiar Roots. What else? Right? So you have to have a daily moisture routine. Your hair requires a level of moisture to make sure, like if you have a plant, if you don't water your plant, what happens to the plant? Not only does it die, but what happens to the plant before it dies? It gets all dry and cruddy and weird and stuff, and then next thing you know, it's gone, and then the leaves start falling off and everything. Well, your hair, your locks is just like a plant. You got to moisturize. You got to give it some water. You got to give it some sunlight, and all of those things. Well, I'm exaggerating with the sunlight, but you definitely have to moisturize your locks. Now, for some people, they say water is enough. I think water evaporates too quickly, so I think water is not enough. So what I use, this is, people say, oh, I can just use a leave-in moisturizer. You absolutely can. But a Locs version of a leave-in moisturizer has to be liquid based so that its density does not burrow down into your locks and get stuck in there and cause your locks to weigh down and get too heavy. And also with it in there, it's not any way for it to get out when you want to wash your hair. So it will eventually build up, making your hair stiff and heavy and hard again. Then we want to avoid that. So what's the best kind of leave-in conditioner that I use on my hair? The refresher spray. Now, the refresher spray is wonderful for two reasons. The refresher spray is rose water based. So the liquid is rose water, okay? And it has wheat protein in it. So not only is it moisturizing your hair, but it's also making your hair stronger. And it's really good with keeping the frizz under control when you put it in your hair as well. Okay, so, and look, see that mist? Really nice. So I'm not saying that moisturizing your hair is going to require you to saturate your hair where it's dripping wet. You don't have jerry curls. So you don't need to put that much moisture in your hair. But you need to moisturize it enough to give it a nice, soft, silky feeling. And you will start to feel the difference from your transformation within a matter of days. Not it's not a requirement to have to do it for too long. Within a matter of days, after you've done a detox and washed it good, and then you just started moisturizing your hair every day like you're supposed to, you're going to be like, oh my God. Like after your detox, your hair is going to feel 10 times lighter. It really is, because the buildup is not in there. Now, also, I know I mentioned earlier that oil, well, it's not just oil, but too much oil causes massive buildup and weighs your hair down. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to use oil in your hair. Now, this is conditioner oil. This is from Peculiar Roots as well. And as you see, it's not heavy and dense. It's very light, right? And it's a blend of a lot of different oils. It stimulates the scalp to help promote growth of your hair and moisture. So how do we use this? Now, I use this once every 3 days or so on my scalp. And when I put it on my scalp, I don't do like a whole stream of it like this on my scalp. I literally am doing random drops like that throughout my scalp. And once I do that and I rub it in my scalp, I'm gonna rub it on the back of my hand because it's nice oils and it smells delicious. So, I put it on my scalp, right? And I'm gonna let the back of my hand act as how my scalp will respond to it. And as you see, it's not overly shiny or thick or anything like that. So yeah, it works out really good. And when I do the moisture on my hair, I'll put like a small quarter size amount in my hand, maybe about right here in the middle, and I will spread it out on my hand, so like all of my whole hand will be shiny, and I literally would just rake my fingers through my hair, and keep doing that until there's no more oil on my hands. I also have a video that I made of my daily routine. So if you want to look at that to get a better picture of what I'm talking about, because it's hard for me to demonstrate with my hair up and everything. But that's generally a daily routine that you would do with your hair. And again, you're not oiling your scalp every day, but you are moisturizing your hair with a leave-in conditioning refresher spray every day. And that's all. That's all it takes. You don't have to put thick gel to slick down your edges. We also have a lock pomade for that if you want to just make your edges a little more laid down. But if you tie your hair down at night, you don't have to do that too often either. Okay? Just keep in mind that having locks does require less maintenance than when you don't have locks, but it doesn't mean that you have to put a whole lot of stuff in your hair. Okay? Keep your expectations realistic when it comes to maintaining your locks, and you'll be fine. So we've reached the end of this presentation or this tutorial, but I want to reiterate again what we went over. And first and foremost, the cause of hard, stiff locks is because of buildup. So check your products. Make sure you're using products that are specifically made for your locks. Natural hair care products are great for natural hair, not necessarily for locks. And I've tested this theory because when I first got my locks, I went through a lot of years of really trying to figure out the best product to use for my hair for a number of reasons. Primarily, I wanted something that was made with ingredients that was going to benefit my locks. So make sure, and once I found Peculiar Roots, that's when I stopped. But yeah, make sure that you're using products that are specifically made for your locks, and not necessarily just saying, oh, I used this when I was natural, so I could use it for my locks, because you can't use the same products. Natural hair care products, especially like cream, leave-in conditioning creams and stuff like that, you can't use that stuff on your locks. It will get into your locks and it'll get stuck in there. And that's what's going to cause the buildup and cause your hair to feel stiff and heavy and stuff. Second and foremost, get rid of it. You have to detox. Now, I showed you this detox bar, and with this detox bar, first and foremost, when you detox your hair in any notion, whether you use this or the other methods that you've seen, you don't have to detox your hair. You should not detox your hair more than once or twice a year, annually. I've seen videos of people detoxing once a month or every visit. You do not need to do that. And if you find yourself having to do that, or you have a loctician that is doing that every time you come for a retwist, you might want to reconsider because especially if they're doing an ACV detox every time you visit them, that could be really harsh on your hair. So keep that in mind. Okay, ask questions, because that ain't cool. You should not have that much massive buildup and things going on in your hair where you have to get a detox every time you go to get a retwist. And I've seen footage of that occurring, or people saying that that's their experience when they go get their retwist. No, baby. And third and foremost, to maintain and keep the transformation and maintain it as is once you've made that transformation from stiff and hard locks to soft and lighter locks. You have to maintain a daily moisture routine, which requires the use of a refresher leave-in conditioning spray that you can use on a daily basis. Now, when I refresh my hair, I do it twice a day. Okay, I do it twice a day because my hair is color treated. Although you see it's black now, my hair was red when I locked my hair. When I started letting my gray hair grow in, I dyed the ends of my hair back to black. Like, cause at some point I stopped touching up my hair and keeping it red, and then I just let my hair grow and it was black and then red, and I was keeping my roots dark. But then when I said, okay, enough is enough, I'm going to embrace myself wholeheartedly in my natural state, and I started letting my gray hairs grow in, because I've been graying since I was in my early 20s. Yeah. So with my color treated hair, that requires more moisture, so I refresh my hair twice a day. Okay, and on sometimes when it's really hot out, I do it 3 times in a day, and I carry a mini bottle on me in case I need to do it even more than that. But it's just a light mist that you put into your hair. Again, you don't need to saturate your hair where it's dripping wet, because we ain't got jerry curls. If you are a 70s baby or 80s baby, you know what I'm talking about when I say you ain't got no jerry curl. Yeah, it's the black people version of a perm. And I'm not talking about a relaxer, which straightens your hair. Perm curls your hair, relaxers straighten your hair. Okay, but that's another conversation. We'll have that at a later time. Okay, and make sure that you can oil your scalp like every 3 days or so, because your scalp does make its own natural oils. You don't want to over oil your hair, because that also leads to buildup. Okay, with all of that being said, maintain your hair, keep it in, keep it tight, do your thing. Okay, if you're really interested in using Peculiar's products, feel free to visit the website. If you need a consultation one-to-one with me, I can go over what is best for you and your journey and your specific needs based on your hair type and your hair porosity and all those different things. Feel free to visit my website. The link tree that's in the band on my what is this? On my YouTube channel page, the little banner that's up there, there's a link tree right there on the right, and you just click on that and you'll see all of my connections from Instagram to do I have Facebook in there? I don't know. Instagram, TikTok, all of my social media connections, and my website is also in there. So if you want to book a consultation, you may do so by clicking on there. Okay. Is there anything else? Because I don't want to keep ranting about nothingness. I think that's it. So again, thank you for joining me this week on another Locs Talk, and I'll see you next time. Bye.